Yo, hello, folks. I'm back for another run. Gonna do a bonus run of Armored Core Project Phantasma. We got lots to talk about, so I'm gonna get started on this one right away. I'm gonna do the countdown. So it's gonna be I'm gonna do a countdown from 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is the second Armored Core game for PlayStation 1. First thing we're gonna do is go shopping, because that's the most important thing to do. We're going to build a special build in this game, and that build is going to allow us to go out of bounds. This is going to be our bread and butter besides just killing things good in this game. So I'm going to sell a bunch of my parts and then get certain arms. So I already have the core that I need, but I need a specific set of arms, but I also want some good maneuverability. So I'm going to get a nice generator, some good boosters, and I'm going to get a nice laser cannon, which is this little dude here. And I'm going to head over and equip those. Because those are the only parts we have, it's going to automatically equip most of them. Except we do have to equip our weapon. And then we get to go to our first mission, which is going to be one of the more interesting in terms of how we're going to approach it. This mission is unique in that there are a lot of there's a lot of debris in the field which we want to destroy. That debris will give us money, and we need to get a certain amount of money by the end of this mission in order to proceed with our intended route. So you're going to see me destroy most of the rail cars in this train station.
System engaged.
So you can see here, this is a PlayStation 1 game. This is a real 3 FPS experience. This is what you want when you're playing a PlayStation 1 game. The only thing that we have to do in order to finish this mission is to destroy the enemies that are here, but we're going to focus on destroying these crates as well. But I will get this guy. So get that guy. Again, we want to take out most of this. It's really important that we take out as many as we can, because our money situation is going to be pretty strict.
We are under attack by unknown forces. Please assist immediately.
These tanks, there's 3 of these tanks. They don't take too many shots. So really, our remaining ammunition is really budgeted for taking care of these crates. And I'm going to spend some extra time just to get rid of most of them to make sure that we are on track. That should be good. We should have plenty that we need now. Armored Core, if you're not familiar, is a game series where at the end of each mission, you're going to have a budget, kind of budgeted resources. And so you're going to have to pay based on the amount of ammunition, physical ammunition, and the amount of health that you've used up. So here we got plenty of money. We needed to be above 93K, and we are good to go on that account. So that's going to allow us to get the set of legs that we need in order to proceed. So we do what we always do. We ignore our email and we go shopping instead. We're going to sell our old legs and get much better legs. They'll automatically equip once we open the assembly in the garage. And then we'll be on our way to our next mission, where I'm going to demonstrate the out-of-bounds technique. So both Armored Core 1, as well as this game, Project Phantasma, which is its direct sequel, have special out-of-bounds techniques. Master of Arena, unfortunately, does not, but we'll make do.
We will drop off the
but before we go out of bounds in this
area.
level, we do have to do some extra destroying.
System engaged.
So we have to destroy these 4 generators around the base before we can go do our out-of-bounds trick. You'll notice the bar on my left is an energy bar. Red health or red energy refills much slower. So generally, I want to try and stay in the green energy. My weapon, which is an energy weapon, uses up some energy besides having a limited number of shots. That's the trade-off between using an energy weapon versus a physical weapon. All right, so now that I've destroyed those, I get to go show you guys the first out-of-bounds clip in the game. Instead of going through the base to get to the bottom, we are going to make our way over to this particular point in the desert, face a particular direction and hopefully get out of bounds. This requires a trick that is about, it's like a two frame window, 2-3 frame window. And then once I go out of bounds, I'm stuck in an animation. The reason I'm going out of bounds is because basically it's an animation glitch that causes me to ignore walls. And then once I regain control, I lean to the left and I should fall into the end of the level, like this. And then we go and finish the level.
Target achieved.
And that's the second level. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to use, in about half the levels, we're going to use out of bounds clips like that to get through and around things. In this next level, we're going to do so this next level, though, will be a bit different because we're going to do more standard things, really. But we are going to continue improving our build by getting a new head, and then we're also going to upgrade our FCS, our fire control system, get better ones of those. Ideally, with our head, we really just want one that's low weight so that we can use our effective and fast legs. The fire control system is what dictates what your aiming cursor looks like in the game. And then we're on to our next mission. This mission will involve more fighting than anything else. But of course, since we're strapped for cash, we have to stick with our trusty laser pistol. This will also be the first mission where we encounter the antagonist of the game. Compared to other Armored Core games, Project Phantasma has a very linear narrative over its missions. And the narrative involves going into a underground city and helping a fellow mercenary defeat an evil organization. In this game, it's called the Doomsday Organization.
System
In the original
engaged.
Japanese version, it's called the Wednesday Organization, since we all know that Wednesdays are bad. But I guess they changed it for this. So we have to destroy the front and the back cars here. Alright, there we go. And now we just have to defeat the rest of the enemies. I'm a little concerned about ammo here, but we should be okay. This is pretty straightforward. There's going to be 2 more guys after this. What's nice about this is that these guys got pretty aggro, and they came towards me, which, if I weren't goofing around with destroying that last truck, would have been pretty useful for me. The AI for these can be pretty unpredictable. And then we got one more enemy, which is going to be coming from up here. I think he only spawns once you defeat the other 4. And that's it. And that is that level. We're going to have some extended voice acting here while we're waiting for this to go through. So if you have anything to say about the event or donations, now would be a great time.
Sure, okay. Good morning or evening, or whatever the hell it is, everybody. I'm Josh from Slight Shift today. Now. But yeah, I'd just like to remind everybody that we are raising money for ESA and other associated speedrun marathons because of the increased costs this year connected with the COVID-19 outbreak. But a fun thing is that right now we're at $5,900. We're $100 away from 6,000. And I know a lot of people love to snipe the big milestone stuff with that sort of thing. But not only that, we also have 489 sub points out of 800. So you can get 500 subs as well. And if you don't know what the subs are about, this event we have HyperX sponsoring us, and for the first
System
800
engaged.
subs we get in the event, they will donate $2.50 for each sub. So that's basically like matching our share of the sub. So yeah, for the first 800 subs, they're helping us greatly. So yeah, if you could get us to 800 sub points, that'd be great. So yeah, donate, subs, all that good stuff, please. Thank you.
Awesome. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a difficult clip, hopefully I get it on the first try, where I'm trying to jump into a cutscene zone. Should be good. Nice. All right, so that's going to place me where I need to be. So that skips a lot of the level getting down to this, but basically we had to go straight to this cutscene zone. And so the setup I did allowed me to clip out of bounds and then jump into it, and now it'll be a quick breeze to the rest of the level. We're just going to destroy these with our dinky laser pistol. We will upgrade our weaponry soon, but it's still, for the reason of economics, we still hold on to this just because it's sort of the best DPS for the amount of money that we want to spend at this time in the run.
We have confirmed that the power system is back online.
So now we get to escape with Sumika, who is the mercenary who's going to give us our missions for the rest of the game.
We cannot delay. Let's go now.
Some notes about movement in this game. You'll notice one thing I do when my energy gets low is I'm going to do hop. And the reason you do hops is it's called boost hopping. And the idea is that you are able to jump to maintain your forward momentum while still keeping most of your speed and also getting some of your boost back, some of your energy back. And that's a way, if you're going across long distances, it doesn't come up too much in this run, but it comes up a lot in Armored Core 1 and Armored Core Master Arena. That you want to do that.
Come on, we must hurry.
And so now we're going to escape on the boat.
There it is. Get in immediately.
And she'll take us away on a mystical cruise. So some things I should know about Armored Core speedrunning. Armored Core speedrunning is cool. That's all I have to say. I only started speedrunning Armored Core a few months back, and it's been a lot of fun. This is actually this backup opportunity is my first chance to show Armored Core at a marathon, so I'm very, very excited about it, and I hope all of you are enjoying.
I've heard they are developing an
I think this run is probably my favorite right now of the ones that I've done because of the out of bounds. And we're going to get to some more DPS style stuff soon, which I think will also be very exciting. The middle part of the run will be focused on management of enemies and DPS, whereas this part will be, there'll be the beginning and ends will be focused on out of bounds clipping.
We cannot leave things as they are.
I should mention that I'm playing this on PS2 with fastest speed. You'll occasionally hear some dialogue lines get clipped at the end. That seems to be a product of the fastest speed.
This will be your next mission.
I normally run this on the Japanese PSTV version since that's an official version. But you know, I figure y'all probably want the lovely English dub for this game, so I'm happy to oblige. This is actually a great example of a weird cutscene in the US version because there's way more dialogue in the Japanese version. But they couldn't make the cutscene shorter, so it just sort of has an extremely awkward pause at the end. All right, so now we got another mission where we're going to do probably the most difficult clip, I would say. This next one is definitely the hardest one, and it's the hardest one because we're going to end up doing a wraparound. When we're out of bounds in this game, of course, they didn't anticipate that the player would go out of bounds. So on levels that are like the surface world, there are out of bounds areas that will cause you to instantly fail the mission. But whenever you're in underground levels, there are no such out of bounds areas because why would there be? You should be underground. You should be in a cave. You can't get out. So we're able to use that to our advantage by wrapping around. So we fall out the bottom of the map. We, of course, come back through the top. That's how numbers work. That's how space works. And so now I'm going to set this up. I'm going to face a certain direction and hope that this works. This is probably the silliest. When we're doing it against the wall, we're able to sort of put ourselves in the wall and press down. The animation I'm looking for is when I tilt my shoulders to go to the side, there's a point where I can press down on the D-pad, and that'll allow me to enter into this animation where I go out of bounds. And so now I'm waiting to gain control. I'm going to boost for a certain amount of time, and then I'm going to fall, and I'm going to wrap around. And after I wrap around, we'll wait about 5 seconds, and then we'll hope that I hit the end of the level. So this is not good. All right, so there I failed it once, but we got actually something helpful here. We can now see where the enemies are. So we're going to just clip back into where the enemies are, and that'll allow us to get to where we need to be. Yeah, so normally we would have clipped right to the end room, but here we do not have that luxury. This is also basically a Kingsfield level. So I've actually lost my way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to skip this right now because I know this is a backup run. So we're just going to load a safety save. We'll pretend that I did the clip. Unfortunately, again, that's the most difficult clip. It's usually the reset point for the run, but I don't want to belabor it. So I did prepare a safety save so we can just proceed past that. That level is a very, very difficult level. So we'll proceed from the run here. Now we're going to get to the DPS section of the run. And this will show off just sort of our approach to dealing with lots of enemies at one time. We're going to go shopping first, though. So we're going to get machine gun arms, which are important. Always, never leave home without your machine gun arms. And also a rocket launcher, equally important. So there we go. There's the machine gun arms, and then that automatically, of course, unequips our arm weapon since we cannot hold the laser pistol with our machine gun hands. And then we'll be on to the first mission where we're going to be just gunning down enemies. So this one involves destroying 2 convoys, and we're just going to rush them down. We're just going to go straight in there and blow both of them up.
System engaged.
As you can tell now, we are a very small mech. One of the downsides to having machine gun arms, though, is that we have fewer hit points than we did previously. You can see there's an example of boost hopping I was talking about earlier. Now, the problem here is that the convoy is not actually on the map yet, so I'm going to hang around on the edge of the map, and I'm going to walk back and forth. One of the reasons I'm walking back and forth is because some enemies will push you. And so I need to make sure that no enemy pushes me out of bounds so that I don't instantly fail the mission. So that would be a real problem. I also need to manage... Yeah, see, there's the guy who's punching me. Also, that tank is flying for no discernible reason. All right, there we go. Almost got pushed out of bounds there. So now this is the other convoy. And we blow that up, and we are through the mission. Easy peasy.
Well done.
So that is the first of the combat missions, and then we'll be on to another one that will be a little slower paced, a little more cloak and dagger. But all these missions we'll be doing with the machine gun arms because our goal is just to DPS them as quickly as possible. Previously in this route, we used to use the Gatling gun arms, the GT2000 arms, but apparently for like very specific physics reasons, it is actually more effective to use these machine gun arms, which is both good and bad. It's obviously good if it's faster, but you fire 4 bullets at a time, so it's definitely very possible to run out of ammo in some situations. That's not so much an issue in this run, but it comes up in the Master of Arena run, which is the sequel to this game. So here we're gonna do a little stealthing where we're gonna make our way over to a helicopter landing pad so that we can surprise attack some foes.
Please don't forget about the anti-aircraft radar in the area. In other words,
we're supposed to not
boosters.
jump. We're not supposed to boost in this level, but we can still jump because we need to not stand on roads in order to get to our position.
System engaged.
Also, there's a hilarious background noise. Just the jungle. It's very good. So I'm jumping over the road, using boost hopping.
Stand by.
And once we
until
get
the
close
helicopter
enough, we'll see a little
arrives.
cutscene play where the guy that we're trying to kidnap will come in a helicopter. We have to be very stealthy until then. But yeah, this is definitely a mission style that is unique to this game of the PlayStation 1 Armored Core games. All the PlayStation 1 Armored Core games would just suggest that you blow things up. But in this one, we actually see little tiny people animated. It's very good.
That man is the target.
man.
After you see him enter the structure,
So
do
once he
it.
goes into the
Destroy
building, we're going to
all
blow up
enemies around the
the
warehouse.
3 mechs and a helicopter. With some excellent 3 FPS gameplay. And once we get everything good to go, we don't actually have to blow up this helicopter. I'd blow it up anyway, just for funsies. At this point, our money route is pretty secure. We don't really have to worry about it.
Surrender. Otherwise, we'll destroy the entire building.
Yeah, he comes out and raises his tiny, tiny little arms. And then we are on to our next mission. The next 2 missions will be very, very
Target
action-packed.
achieved.
Which will be now. So now that we kidnap the guy, we have to protect the guy, which is really, really all you want. So in this is going to be a mission where we know where enemies are going to be spawning, and so we're going to adjust accordingly in order to try and get them as soon as they spawn with our assortment of weaponry.
It should be safe to stay
It
here.
should be safe here, but it is absolutely not safe. And then at the end, we'll have a boss that we need to take care of. But there's going to be 2 types of enemies. There's going to be a flying enemy and then a mech enemy. And our goal is to hit the mech enemy using our rockets so that we can save our machine gun ammo for the boss.
System engaged.
Right, so I know they're going to be spawning in here, so I'm able to use that to my advantage. So I'm able to. So the rockets are not lock-on weapons; they're dumbfire weapons. But of course, at this range, it's hard to miss. And then we got one more.
Somehow we
And then we're
made
going to
it.
back up so that we're going to be ready to shoot the boss as soon as he appears.
I don't appreciate nuisances. Why don't you just give it to me?
I cannot do that.
So yeah, now we're right behind this guy, and we're going to unload on him for a good 10
How
seconds.
brave.
He's just going to stand and take it, basically. Sometimes he jumps, but he usually doesn't move too much. Yep,
See,
there
I
you
wasn't
go.
careful
See you
enough.
later, buddy.
Oh well, I'll hunt you down for fun later.
Yeah, so we'll see him again. But then we're not going to be on to another mission
Target
of fighting. We're
achieved.
going to manage a few sets of enemies. Probably the deadliest mission in the game, I would say. Which is the Gimlet mission. We're trying to take out like a company of the Doomsday Organization. And so we're going to roll down on their enemies. And this is definitely a mission where we can run out of machine gun ammo pretty quickly. So I'm going to be trying to use my rockets strategically to prevent that from happening. And also, you know, hopefully deal some high DPS damage
They
to
have
some enemies that
gathered,
are
as we
stationary.
heard. They have not taken notice of us yet. We will begin the infiltration.
Yeah, we'll begin the infiltration. Bam, bam, bam. She's got a
System
gun.
engaged.
So I want to take care of these guys with machine gun. That guy did not destroy himself. That guy's just walking into a wall. So we want to take care of those guys first because it's going to make it easier to manage the enemies. So now some enemies are going to fall down from the ceiling. These guys are really deadly, and they're the ones that are the biggest risk to destroy me. Alright, so once I take care of those, then more enemies will fall from the sky, and these ones I'm going to use my machine gun on. Alright, 2 down. 2 more to go. Alright, and then he's gone, and we should have enough to destroy the last guy. I mean, sometimes you'll need to use some rocket on this guy. You just gotta hope you can get him. So, I mean, the good thing, too, is that they're often melee enemies, so usually you can take out at least the last one without too much risk to yourself.
Our mission is complete.
But that is going to conclude our mid-game DPS section, and now we're going to return to some good old-fashioned clipping out of bounds. All right, so let's see. We're going to go to the next part. So in order to clip out of bounds, we need the big shoulders. So we gotta go right back to the garage to equip the correct arms and arm weapon. And this will pretty much be our configuration for the rest of the game. But yeah, so now we're back to the Doomsday Organization headquarters where we're going to do some fun clips. In this mission, yeah, so this mission will be a clip, then we'll do a fight, clip, fight, clip, fight, clip, fight. That's sort of a rhythm to a lot of this game.
Room in the lower section. Destroy all obstacles in your way.
This can be a particularly long mission if you play it casually too, but thankfully we're able to sidestep most of that. So we're going to go over to here, we're going to position ourselves facing just the right way. And then we get exactly what we need. So this animation is going to put us almost directly into the cutscene. It will automatically play the cutscene. There you go. You can see I'm actually not even standing correctly. We managed to get that so precise. Makes me feel better about that earlier clip that I had to skip. But now we're going to do a fight where some enemies are going to come out of the ceiling. Ideally, we want to keep shooting them as they come out of the ceiling part to the left. That's really what we want.
It might take a little longer than expected. Please wait.
I should note the control scheme for this game. In order to look up and down, R2 is look down, L2 is look up. So just understand that when I'm doing any of this, I am L2, 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 R2. And the turning speed is a big deal in this game. Turning speed is something which defines sort of what separates certain mechs as well. So turning speed is pretty slow.
Thank you for your assistance.
But bipedal mechs are very fast at strafing, which is kind of one of the reasons that we're able to clip out of bounds is because, of course, the strafing animation is glitched.
Until the process is complete.
So now we're going to clip out of bounds again. Position ourselves just so. This one is a little less precise in terms of where we're going out of bounds, but it will be important where we fall, because we're going to intentionally wrap around through the sky, but we need to do it in the right area. And so I'm going to use the enemies on the mini-map to sort of dictate this. I'm going to go to the rightmost enemy, and then just fall through the map here. This is going to activate the next cutscene, and it's going to put us near the enemies that we need to defeat to end the level.
I think they're going to destroy all the evidence, including us. We have located enemy paratroopers.
So now we got a few enemies here. Ideally, they would be close to these explosive containers. So I'm going to hit these in the hopes that that one enemy is close to it, and then go for this other one. Oh, okay, there you go. See, actually, that third enemy got blown up because it was in the middle of those explosive containers. But then these other two I'll have to take care of normally. There we go. And that'll be the end of
We're
that
safe
level.
for the time being. Let's get out of here.
If you have any concerns about bright white light, be concerned about the next level. It's a snow level, and you can only imagine how a PlayStation 1 game that looks like this handles a snow level. It is actually blinding. But yeah, now we look on as the base is destroyed. So, again, we go straight in. We're pretty much, at this point, as I said earlier, on this same configuration. Never going to read our email. Emails for suckers. And so now we're going to finally destroy Phantasma, maybe? Or at least we're trying. We're going to Nord Highland. This is actually Skyrim. Todd Howard's Skyrim. Mission place, Nord Highland. Just to FYI.
We have arrived at the mission
This
location.
is the original
We will
Skyrim.
drop off the ACs and then leave the area.
So the first thing we have to do is activate an ambush.
System engaged.
We do that just by landing sort of far away from the center here. And it'll bring up the ambush. We go backwards because this will put the enemies right in front of us. But yeah, isn't this a great looking level? Isn't this? And so now we have to destroy several pairs of enemies that are throughout this level. There's 3 pairs of them, of these big rocket launchers we're going to use our rockets on. And there's also smaller cluster bomb enemies that we need to go find and destroy in this wonderful winter wonderland.
Are you okay if I talk about prizes real quick?
Oh, please go ahead.
Alright. So yeah, if you donate to ESA during the course of ESA Together, you can actually be put into the running for some prizes that we've got. We've got several provided by our sponsor HyperX. We have a HyperX Fury Ultra RGB mousepad. That's a minimum donation of $15. We have a HyperX Pulsefire Dart wireless mouse, which is $20. And the big prizes for the $25 or more donations, you can be put into the running for HyperX Cloud wireless headsets. We have a Cloud Flight S, a Cloud X Flight, and a Stinger wireless. So you have a pretty good chance of winning a HyperX headset if you donate minimum of $25 or more.
Danger.
And that's over the course of the whole event as well. That's not just one big donation of $25. You could do $5 5 times as well. So yeah, get your donations in and you can win some good prizes.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you want to know more, head on over to prizes.esa.marathon. Prizes.esamarathon.com. I always mess that up.
I cannot believe.
Very cool. So there at the end we had a boss fight that we just dispatched with rockets real quick because he is a big boy. And as it turns out, it is very easy to hit big boys with our rockets. So now we're 3 levels from the end. And our first thing here is going to be to do another level. We're going to clip to the end. Probably the most interesting, I think one of the more interesting sets of setups in terms of making things consistent. It'll be interesting. So this level, actually, the moderator for this game is a very nice guy named Needle. Made a diagram for this to explain this. It's very silly, but it works. It makes sense. All right, space is a closed loop. That's all you need to know. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But so we're gonna go to a level that is part above ground and part underground, and so that means that we need to do some maneuvering in order to avoid
System
activating
engaged.
an out of bounds, in order to avoid failing a mission for reason of having gone out of bounds, or at least the bad out of bounds, the out of bounds that the game cares about. So the first thing we're gonna clip out right here. And I'm going to look up. And I'm going to use the bottom line of my cursing reticule to know when to press back. So I'm going to release. And I'm going to fall backwards. And it's going to put me into this room, which is where I need to be. It's like a
Get
trust
out
fall
as soon as the
exercise
timer has
but
been
for
activated.
Armored Core. Also, I put my body into the camera during this cutscene because I think it's funny.
I've received the images.
It probably
Place
isn't,
the
but I'm gonna do it
self-destruct
anyway.
mechanism on the target and set the countdown timer.
Ordinarily, you're supposed to enter the room through the door, of course,
Once
not
you
through the
start the
ceiling.
timer, it cannot be stopped. Please be careful.
All right, so we're going to go back down this hallway. We can't just clip out of bounds because if we clip out of bounds and wrap through the level, we'll trigger the fail condition for going out of bounds. So we need to not do that. So we're going to go over here and then go out of bounds. I'm going to wait to wrap around and then turn. So there's the wrap. I'm going to turn a little bit. I'm going to wait 1 more second, and then I'm going to go. And I click through without failing the mission and immediately enter into the victory condition by escaping. It's a cool setup and clip, and it's probably my favorite in terms of making it work and doing inputs and stuff. So it's a really neat one. All right, we are coming up on the end. We've got 2 more missions to go. The next one should be really funny because it's a situation where we have to enter into a cutscene that is immediately below us. The dead-end tubes. And this is a mission where we're supposed to, casually, we would have to go into 3 different control rooms separate from a tunnel before going down that tunnel. And each of the control rooms would be their own tunnel where we'd deactivate a gate. But of course, gates don't bother us. We're not really worried about gates. We can just do what we want.
System engaged.
So we are going to do what we want. We're going to do what we want right over here. So we're going to stand in this area and then try to get out of... Yep, there we go. So the cutscene is right below the floor. We arrive in style. We're making whatever that pose is. We're JoJo posing. There was a Joseph Joestar on this marathon earlier. So we JoJo pose our way to the cutscene. And that's that level. That cutscene is actually the cutscene after the boss of the level, so we don't even have to fight the boss of the level. We just activate the cutscene. All right, so I should mention that time for this game happens after when the save prompt appears after fighting this boss. So I don't know what the time situation is like. Feel free to hit the time as soon as the boss dies. I don't know when exactly that will be. It's about 1:15 cutscene from the boss dying to the normal run time end, so I will leave that to the discretion of the tech and donation. But this is the boss. This boss has a laser attack that will make him invulnerable. So the first thing we're going to do is back up because he's going to use it right away. He also has a lot of defense against energy weapons, and so we want to use our rocket launcher, but we need to back up. So now I'm going to start firing because I want to make sure I'm hitting him as soon as he gets out of this. Oh, so now we got a second laser. This multiple lasers is like really unlucky. I think for a long time the world record had like 1 laser. Oh, this is bad. All right, and I currently have the world record in this game. It has 3 lasers. I don't know why he isn't firing anything, but I'm okay with that. This is quite the mercy. There we go. All right, so that if you want to call time there, I'm happy to do that. But again, this is Armored Core Project Phantasma, any percent. It is a very fun run. I showed off most of the clips. The one clip, again, is a very, very difficult clip, usually a reset point sort of thing. And you can do it. Really, anybody can do it. I would love to see more people run this. There is a Speedrun Discord and all that, and you can find it via speedrun.com. So I'm going to float away into space where rest awaits me and bed awaits me. It's right behind me. But again, pmcTrilogy, thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with my bonus stuff. Please support ESA.
All right, thanks a lot, PMC. Coming up next, we've got Frube's run of Attack on Titan, and there's some Japanese words I can't read. Yeah, we'll get ready with that run, and we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.